Assalamu alaikum everyone, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of ETC Talks. I'm excited to have you all there. Now, before we begin, let me remind you that this session will be recorded and all questions will be entertained later in the question and answer portion. With our session today, there is no judgment, only exchange of ideas and knowledge. Joining us today is a professional and well experienced in the field of digital transformation. She is currently the Digital Transformation Senior Specialist in the Ministry of Transport, Communication and Information Technology. She has experience and demonstrated history of working the information technology and services industry, skilled in corporate communication, marketing management, event management, and marketing research. She is a strong analytic and business-oriented professional with MS focused on data science and analytics from University of Leeds. One of her major experiences is to plan, manage, and supervise a roadmap of digital transformation for government sector and provide consultancy on e-business, change management, and build digital capabilities. Also, support on measuring digital maturity and business continuity and maintain relationship with government and stakeholders that leads her to create a strategic partnership with ICT service providers and develop KPIs and annual reports. One of the very interesting facts about her is that she is an alumna from HCT. Join me to welcome Ms. Kauthar Al-Hinai. Ms. Kauthar, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear, for the introduction. And thank you everyone for joining this session today. I hope you will find it useful and informative. And I hope you enjoy the session. To begin with, what is, we need to identify, I'm sorry, I'm trying to change the slide. Okay. To begin with, I will give you a brief overview about the topic, and then give you some details about what is data and analytics in general, and then give you highlight the processes used in data analytics and the tools included there. And then we'll focus on consumer behavior analytics, highlight the needs and benefits of analyzing the consumer, and focus on targeted marketing and response modeling as an example. And finally, I will share one of the case studies that I've been involved in consulting and for segmentation for the purpose of marketing. First of all, we need to define what is data. Data basically it's a collection of facts, numbers, words, measurements, observations, or just descriptions of things. We use data science. As a statistical technique, basically known today as machine learning or artificial intelligence, to get meaningful information or predict future behaviors. Understanding the importance of this, it became very important to enable the open data. So Oman 2040 has launched a plan that highlighted the importance of data and providing open data platforms to enable data. As well as in the Ministry of Transport and Communication Information Technology, we are responsible in supporting the use of technology to create data-driven organization, related policies governance, and encourage open data projects. Our ambition by 2024 to reach the top 40 countries in global data barometer. That's what we hope so by 2024. As we know today, we live in a world full of data, and most of us have GPS-enabled devices, smartphones, and that contain lots of apps and lots of apps which involves also digital transaction. This means that we create lots of data. We we consume lots of data as well, that we share information data about where we are going to and what we are doing, at what time we're doing. So these are just examples of how data is being transmitted over the networks. Here, I just wanted to highlight about the spatial data, basically known as geospatial data. Any information related to location, it's basically called spatial data. This was extracted from Google Trends, basically to highlight that the user searching behavior over the time. It has shown that people understand what is data science and what is big data. People are interested in this field. There are different types of analytics in data science. Basically, we use data mining to detect hidden patterns in data. Sometimes we need information visualization to explore complex structure patterns in data that are difficult to expose using computer alone. And predictive analytics, we use these patterns that we extracted to predict what will happen in the future. We generate data everywhere, which means we give information everywhere about us. This includes apps, social media, comments, debit cards, travel cards. For example, the apps, you can identify the consumer, what he prefers, when did he download, and from where he downloaded a specific app, what he thinks of a particular thing over the networks, his comments. This information all can be extracted and converted into meaningful information. Going through the analytics, basically, when analyzing any type of analysis, we usually go through this circle known as the cross-industry standard process for data mining. We start by understanding the business. We ask as many questions as we can. We try to understand the processes involved in the business. This helps us to identify what data we will need in order to process this analysis, and as well as identify the types of data. And then we start preparing the data. The data preparation part includes different kind of things depending on the quality of the data, and preparing the data, cleaning the data. Sometimes we need to merge different type of data depending on the objective of our analysis. And then we model the data and finally evaluate it. If it's good, we use certain testing methods. If it's good, then we can deploy it. There are different tools used in analyzing the consumer behavior. Basically, what we need is analysis software and visualization software. There are different types. When you Google, you'll find different types of softwares out there. But I've just listed the most common ones used today, which are Python and R. This is coding languages. And then we have the visualization software. Tableau is very good software in analyzing the visualization. It's very powerful, and it's user friendly. There are different statistical techniques to use in analyzing the consumer behavior. I have listed just some of few statistical techniques. One of them is recency, frequency, monetary value. Classification models used to partition objects based into groups that share certain behaviors. And then decision trees. These are some illustration, like this one. identifying this kind of statistics will help us like identify how frequent the consumer keeps on doing a particular thing, and when was the last time he did he purchased a certain product, so we can analyze his behavior in this way. Decision trees usually used to predict if it was about like choosing between two options, and we want to know if a particular customer will go for option A or option B. We use decision trees. Consumer behavior analytics, basically we use different techniques such as data mining, data visualization, to identify behavior patterns or trends in data, to give insights of future behavior based on the past patterns. For example, it could help us to identify the potential customers who are likely to buy again or not, predict what are the desired products in future. Why do we need to do this? Actually, it helps in achieving business objectives more effectively, optimize customer retention and acquisition strategy, identify new product services to bring out to the market, decide the best pricing scheme, enable organization to become more customer-centric. Before analyzing the consumer behavior, as I mentioned before, we need to understand the business. So in our case, we need to determine what are the determinants of consumer behavior. So there are different things that can affect the consumer. This includes culture, situation, his social situation. Is he married? Does he have kids? This all can determine his behavior pattern. His personal identity, which includes age, psychological, his attitude towards something, his monthly income, for example. Spatial microsimulation, basically, it's the creation, analysis, and modeling of individual level data allocated to geographic zones. There are different examples. I've listed some examples here for spatial microsimulation. Data mining, response modeling, microsimulation, agent-based modeling. These all are used to simulate and predict consumer behavior. I'll explain some later. There are some other uses of consumer behavior predictions that I just wanted to list them. Analyzing the consumer behavior can help, for example, the security agents to identify where the next crime going to be, which criminal will be, and also buying behavior of the consumer. We can decide the layout of store, where to locate it based on analyzing the consumer behavior, as well as infrastructure planning based on the population and how they're likely to grow in future. Based on that, we plan the infrastructure of the country. As well as we can predict the health situation of the person based on his lifestyle and habits. I think one of the ways now that it can be used is the Apple Watch, for example, or the smartwatch. They actually can track what we're doing. So basically they can tell, like, according to age, what are the predictions of the health situation in future. As part of spatial targeting, marketing will focus on on targeted marketing and response modeling. These are some examples that are used in targeted marketing, like recommender systems, loyalty card, micro-targeting, and segmentation. Basically, recommender systems, it's most of the companies use it nowadays, like Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, Google, YouTube. Basically, they use your content, your previous behavior to generate what you will likely prefer in future. For example, when you go to Amazon, it will tell you If you watched a certain documentary movie, it will suggest another documentary movie for you to be based on your particular behavior. Another thing is it's gonna suggest based on the demographic, like similar people who are similar to you, how they behave. So it will propose, like maybe, for example, based on the location-wise, Oman, people in Oman watch certain things, so you might like it as well. This is another example in Amazon. When you try to purchase a book, it will tell you that customers like you, what did they buy with this kind of book. Another interesting thing is loyalty cards. I think most of us used to think that, or still think that loyalty card it's a reward system. But basically, in the world of data, is used to link your profile with your buying behavior. So this will make it easier for the data scientist to identify who is buying a particular thing and from where exactly. So basically, micro-targeting and personalization is used to predict consumer behavior, buying behavior, interests, opinions, and influence that behavior with the help of hyper-targeted advertising strategy. The data we need to analyze the consumer, it can be categorized into demographic, as I mentioned earlier, his income, his age group, his behavior. From the data related to his behavior, we can identify is he aware about a certain product, how frequent does he buy, is he a loyal customer or not. Geographic, from where we can identify from where he's doing a particular thing, as well as identify his attitude and personality towards, or basically we can say his feelings towards a particular thing. This is an example was extracted in one of the projects, basically of the data, and how some variables, which we mean by the columns here, can give us like an indication of something. For example, this is from travel agency. It shows that the origin airport for the passengers, like from what airport they starting. So this one, from identifying this, will help us identify a particular a group of customers, what they prefer, from what airport they prefer to move. This is, by the way, it's from UK database. Identifying the consumer will help us to target the customer better and make use of data analytics to characterize the customer population, such that groups of customers likely to respond best to a message can be targeted, and marketing message can be personalized according to that group of customers. Therefore, create tailored marketing campaigns to a specific target. We can provide a pricing strategy for a specific target based on their income. Product services give priority to loyal customers as well. Here is an example of consultation done for one of the travel agency in UK. We were asked to do an analysis to segment, like provide a segmentation so they can target. So basically, we have analyzed the data, and we have observed that most people are traveling to Spain, especially the age group between 65 and over. So we decided to target those category. And then we wanted to know where exactly they're going to Spain. So there were like two cities in the Spain, Palma, Mallorca, and Tenerife. They were like the best places, the most visited places, which would tell us, it tells us what they actually prefer. Or these cities are actually known for it's like beach cities, cities. So basically, we can identify that this kind of group people prefer beach holidays. As well as we did some demographic analysis to analyze like from which airport they were using and what is the income average. This one will decide this will help the companies decide what package they can provide, what type of holidays to offer, and to whom to target. So basically, it became very easier to target instead of like following just an intuition. Now we actually build our intuition into real data. So basically, this is not just guessing. So basically, it's not just guessing. This is an interesting figure that I wanted to share. It's used in, I don't know if you know about London cycle hire. Basically in London there is a spots that you can hire cycles. So this one shows this graph shows the route of the cycles, the destination of daily destinations of taken by men and women in UK. I've put down some useful books that you can refer to for like coding or data visualization in case you wanted to you found this field interesting. And thank you for your time. I hope I did not take long time. I was trying to rush, so I don't exceed the time and leave some time for questions, discussions.
MashaAllah, Scouter, thank you very much. It was very short, but it is very full, informative session. Now the floor is open for questions. You may unmute yourselves or raise your hands. Yeah, you may unmute yourself. Mr. Mohammed Atif. Mr. Mohammed. I can see that Mr. Mohammed is.
Yes, madam. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, alaikum salam.
Do you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Thank you very much. I would like to request if you can share some interesting case in Oman. If you applied like targeting or segmentation or clustering also. So if you have an example in Oman, are they applying this in retail centers like Lulu or Carrefour?
Currently in Oman, it's like we're in the, like I can say we're like in the phase one of implementing this as maybe in some, I'm not sure if like this international, because Lulu, it's an international company, so I'm not sure. As long as they're having this loyalty card, they might do. And as you can see, like when you go to markets, usually they don't even like the items they're placing in the supermarket, the layout. Usually this is not done just for no reason. Basically, I'm assuming that they should be like analyzing the data there, analyzing the sales. So based on the most requested items, they should provide more items and that. So if you think that if the question is still did we apply in Oman as a government, we're actually working on the the first step of allowing or encouraging the companies to use open data is to provide the regulations and the required policies to establish this. And hopefully by 2024 we will be we reach by our target is to reach around 1,000 database of open data, which will allow us to analyze the consumer better.
Thank you very much. And one more question regarding academics, madam, that we have data that we are accumulating since so many years, maybe the past, the student marks, the internal marks. And so can we apply this in the academics also to understand the student, or to really link the marks given by teacher and the feedback given by the students, maybe some association between that? Or the time the teacher, how much time teacher teaches, the duration of teaching, something like this, we can find a real thing what is happening behind.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea, by the way. It will even there are also another options like you can analyze even like feedbacks, and this is all can be analyzed, and you can get into even plan what to provide, what content to provide. So I think it's a very good idea to utilize this in the academic sector, and you will just need to note that in order to do this, and then but every student who joins the university should be should sign that he is okay, a consent saying that he is okay to share with this information. But I think this is very good idea to plan the academic sector.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Mubarak, there is another question. You may unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Dr. Kauthar, can you tell me about the best way to analyze data? Like if I have a data, the steps to analyze it.
Thank you, Mohammed. First of all, I'm not a doctor. To analyze data, basically, first, as I mentioned earlier, we need to start by understanding the business. This part, we need to ask a lot of questions to understand what is included, what is the processes included in this, in the problem we're trying to solve, or on the objective that we're trying to achieve. After that, we collect the data. We collect the data needed. So we will start thinking, okay, what data we require to solve this issue. And then there are different steps you can even find online regarding the cleaning, because I don't think the time is enough to explain it now. But there's lots. You can use R, as I mentioned, R coding to clean, and there you can the Tableau, the business intelligence app Tableau. It will help you to. It does some auto cleaning for you, but usually what we do is clean it through R coding. We remove the repeated, let's say the repeated observations, make sure that it's all clean, and before starting with the analysis. Did I answer your question, or?
Thank you, Kauthar. Yes, I was also going to ask you about an app for this, or something like this. And
yeah, you can refer. There's lots of tutorials, by the way, you can get on R. And it's very powerful tool. It's an open source.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Is there any more questions? Let us see.
Even if you don't have questions, just let's discuss. We can just share thoughts. I think it's a very interesting field, and it has like lots of potentials. I've tried to put some. I was afraid to put like all the thoughts that I have, you know, because of the time. So we, yeah.
Yeah, because normally we finish the sessions within an hour, unless the guest wishes to extend it a few minutes for the questions and the discussions.
Yeah, we can go back to slides if you have any concerns, if anyone would like to.
Tell us an experience you have, data analyst. An experience like something
Sorry?
you have.
I
Tell us.
cannot hear
Who's
you.
this, Mubarak?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is Mubarak. Yeah. Yes, Mubarak, we can hear you.
That's an experience you have with data analyst. Something that happened to you.
Actually, I have graduated just recently in data analytics, but I've done like so many analysis. For example, I worked on deciding on a layout for a market in the UK. Which was like we were asked like to identify like where the items should be located. In analyzing this, you need to like think of different aspects, because you are analyzing first of all can you want to know the consumer behavior of that particular area. So you analyze for example the location, where is it located, and who is gonna go to that shop, for example, the market, and then you can take the data of the sales from the shop and analyze it to identify what they're actually buying, what are the most selling items, for example. And so based on that, you can decide where you can locate items so you avoid the crowd. You know, sometimes you go to, for example, to a market, and then you see like there is crowded area. Just maybe they put one table, but you find it very crowded. I think this could be solved if actually the cells were analyzed, and then you identify what are the items that people purchase more, and then and based on that you provide more counters for that. Yeah, this is an example. I've also analyzed another example, okay, I'll share on identifying what's the ease of, you know, like the ease of doing business. It has like different challenges like in doing business. So another thing is when you try to solve such problem, you will try to identify what are the obstacles, like for example facing, like what are the obstacles to start a business, for example, in Oman. To identify this, you will need to understand again at the business part first. What are like the processes involved in order to start business, and then analyze it. Based on that, you can give prediction. Okay, if we like shorten this, because what now there, like the currently what is done, there's like number of processes in order to start. If this was shortened, you can predict, okay, in case it was shortened, how much income we can make as a country as well. So the field of analyzing the behavior or the consumer behavior, it's basically, it's the most interesting thing about it. You can use it in any field. In criminal cases, you can use it. In business cases, you can use it. In health situation, you can use it. and so on, and the list goes on.
Interesting. So if there is no more question, I think we shall end this session. Let us see. I guess the topic was well explained, and therefore I think it is safe to end this session today. At the end of this very interesting session, join me to thank Ms. Kawthar Al-Hinai for her interesting session on the power of data analytics in predicting consumer behavior. Thank you once again, Ms. Kawthar. Shukran
Thank you
jazeelan.
very much for having me, and I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, we did indeed. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Ma'as salama.
Thank you.